Okay, so this is the fitting of the Yamaha Tracer GT or 2018-2019 givi touring screen. It's the D2139st. But what you've got to do is buy a kit that goes with it to be able to mount it onto the original positions on here. So you can see where I've unscrewed the original one, just 4 screws, simple as. I've got out all the instructions. So first of all, obviously, before you even start, there's no point carrying on unless you've got all the bits. So I've checked all of these parts here against all of these here. It's a bit of a guessing game because the like these washers, how do I know what that looks like compared to what that is there? So looking at the installation of it further through the booklet, it looks like the ones in the top left hand corner on the page are the kind of domed ones, because these countersunk and bolt kind of things fit in the back of it, so it would be a nice flush fit. Okay, so yeah, all the parts are there. So then, from what I can make out from the drawing, so it's a bit windy here, what I can make out from the drawing, you just follow the instructions. So I'll start, I'll put a few bits together, and then show you how I get on and talk you through it. So I've taken out the 4 screws on the front of the screen, which is very easy. The next part is to remove the little kind of stud thing inside. So it's very simple. All you do is, I've done it so it's easy. When it's in there, you push in the center little bit in there. Don't push it in too far. Just pop it in with a star screwdriver or something thin, just to push it in a couple of mil. Then that's enough to make the center pin go loose, and then you can just pull it straight out. Do that on both sides. So next part is to take off the actual adjuster part, which looks like that. Now when you look in here, there are, if you use the hand to lift it up, which you would normally do, up and down, there's 2 screws, one there and one there in the bottom, and then there's a third one. You've got to kind of see the hole in the middle there. You've got to keep going down until you can see the screw right in the back of there. You'll see the camera won't pick it up, but it is in the bottom. They're just Allen bolts, all 3 same size, so we'll just remove that. Okay, so I've got one of them out. Now they're not that easy to get out, so because they're in from the back, and you've got to push them through that way, so they come out from this side. Easiest way I found is to pull the grommet a bit around the back, put a bit of oil on it so it will slide through a lot easier, and then pull with your hands from this side like that. Just kind of get your finger behind it like that, and then with a screwdriver from the other side, start kind of pushing in. Sorry, I can't see you. Start pushing in with a screwdriver like that around. It will gradually just kind of start to feed through the hole. So the next part is to push the little retaining nuts on the back in there. They go into the back of this part here. They're literally just a push fit, really nice snug fit. Like, just give them a tiny little twist and push them in, they go in okay. Then on to the next page, which is to put these clips in. So I've already done 2 on that side, and they come up there on that side, on the top, on the side of where the bracket goes on, the return. So easiest way to do these, which a lot of people know already, is you just push one side in on that side like that. Sorry, on that side like that, so it's kind of on the side, and then you just get a flathead screwdriver and push, and it'll pop in. Just push your thumb on top like that as it goes, and it'll go home. So the next part is to take off these grommets and you put the longer ones in. So there is a bit of a knack to this one because you'll see there's a slot in there, so you don't have to pull them out, you just pull them down and then you can just slide the new ones back up. So as long as you take the old ones out that way, put the new ones in that way, it works really easily. Right, so now all those are in. The next part is to reattach the bit you just took off. So that's this bit. So we've got our pieces in the back in there, and we've got the fatter or more kind of proud rubber bungs on there. Now to attach this, there is a little kind of, you see the kind of pin stuck up there. I'll try and get it in focus in there. Now that locates into this hole here, so just locate that back in there, kind of just rest it on. Now the reason I think they've got these fatter rubber bungs here, because on the original one you've got a gap between the back of your plate, which sits about here. You can see the witness marks. Now that's always a bit of a gap, so it tends, the original visor was kind of doing this, wasn't it? So I think that's kind of how Givi have made that improvement to stop a little bit of that buffeting on the screen. So we'll get that fitted, and obviously we just use the original screws we took out just to put in those 3 positions, and then on to the next stage. So next part is that's on, so we can see it's all bolted in and all done. Obviously you've got to adjust the height of this to get to the Allen bolt behind there and do it to the 2 lower ones using the original bolt, so that's all done. Next part is to put the little sleeve into the bracket. So as you look at it, it's on the kind of outside curve, which is where you put they just push fit in. They just push fit in right on the thing on the outside, look, just sit in that little square kind of slot. And then over the page. So then it's a case of, we now remember when we took these grommets out. Well, in that hole, you need to now bolt the height adjustment brackets onto it. So we're going to do that next. I'll get all the parts assembled and then I'll talk you through how that went. Right, so for this part, you've got 2 lengths of black mushroom head Allen bolts, so it's a slightly longer pair, and with the plastic washer, and that goes, it mounts kind of, I'll show you on this side in the light, it mounts like that, so it's in line, so there's it under there, and a nut that goes up behind there, and obviously you just do it up. So the next bit is to assemble the kind of adjuster. Now the stack kind of looks like that. So it's the big adjuster, spring washer, flat washer, then the bracket, then another flat washer, and then after it's all gone through the assembly, which are the retaining nuts, you then lock them on with a locking nut, which is that one there, and then the plastic cap goes over the top. So I've already assembled this side, and once all that stack is on, there's a kind of alignment nut at the top, which is the smallest one, which is number 5. So we had 2 black kind of nuts. This is a pair of smaller ones. So it's that one there, and that goes into that kind of sleeve at the top. So in the top one, look, so you can see that there. It's not that great. I think if it was me, I would make the sleeve a little bit shorter so it would pull it in and it'd be nice, but maybe anyone can do that after. So we'll just assemble them. So we've made the stack up, and that's how it kind of looks. So it's all kind of just, the instructions say to do it all lightly, tighten it up all lightly, and then obviously once it's all together, then individually go around and tighten them all up after, like, so you know, like, there's not too much strain on one bolt, single bolt. Right, so that frame, I've tightened up these frames because also we know they're not going to move, they can only go in one position. But this is adjustable, so we'll leave that loose, same as the other side. Then obviously your position of this needs to kind of line up, so we've got to get these holes lined up on both sides, ready to put the screen on with the stack of this. So this is obviously the screen. Now we've got to look down here and start kind of making up this stack. This would obviously be the fairing, and this would obviously be the back plate, which is the number 2 kind of thing like there, let's see. So that goes through there. And then obviously the whole lot then screws back into the original plate like that. So obviously it'll push back slightly, and obviously that'd be it. So I'll get that put together, and then we'll see how we go. So all the stack is put in. Put one screw in, that screw in, so you can kind of pull the, well, not pull, but just lift the visor from one side. One thing you need to be careful of is just put a rag behind there, just to kind of make sure you don't scratch the visor on the back. And so I've got this far, everything's kind of loose, as you can see. So I've miffed that off, and if you rest that over it, the holes don't line up. So unless you start filing the holes on each side to allow it to fit, the screen doesn't fit the bike. So as you can see here, just make out on the screen 2139 DT, 2139 DT, and it don't fit the bike. So yeah, I'm going to take it off and return it because this doesn't fit the bike.